Today in the crypto space, we're seeing a bit of relief throughout the market. Bitcoin right around $104,300, up approximately 3.5%. And Ethereum is showing a lot of strength right now, right around 3,500, up approximately 7%. The rest of the crypto space are also, these altcoins are also doing pretty good. And of course, guys, today I want to talk about ASTER. ASTER doing great. Obviously, a bit of relief to the upside. However, the structure at the bottom of the range is what we should be looking at. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike, and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel, we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins. Looking for opportunity, whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. All we want to do is stay one step ahead of the market so that we can capitalize on any of the volatility. And if you appreciate the strategy, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos, including the live streams at 8 p.m. EST, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Guys, if you have any projects you want me to cover here on the channel, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. You can hit me up on the socials. The links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. All right, guys, let's begin. Let's see what we got going on here, because this relief is an important one. And it's not because I think we're going to recover and start going into price discovery and all of that kind of stuff. It means that this is our first move to the upside after the biggest dip in a long while, that we're about to see a bullish response. And this bullish response is an important one because it's at a level where there's a lot of emotion. Could it be that we come down a little bit lower? Of course, anything is possible here, guys. You know that my targets on Bitcoin are right around $97,000. Around that level, and I've been calling that level for months now. That was the bearish target. You know, even when we were reaching those levels of top 125,000 Bitcoin at those euphoric levels, I was saying, guys, be prepared. No fresh longs here, because ultimately, those are where the risks are at when you're looking into fresh longs or breakouts. However, guys, the truth is this: we're very close to that $97,000 mark. And in the meantime, we're seeing the altcoins come down even harder. Today was a good day in the sense that it gave us a little proof of life. Small, but great, right? The reality is that a lot of projects are down 40, 50%, and even a 10% move to the upside, doesn't erase the entirety of the dip, right? So we have a little bit of work to do left. The bad news, okay? The bad news is this. Look at the market cap. Yes, it's rising, still below the $4 trillion mark. It's not a good sign to see when you're below still. But what's even worse, guys, is the trading volume. There's no traders right here pumping these bags. So what this leads me to believe is that the truth is that we need a little bit of an inducement. We need a little bit more action. In order to get a sustainable move to the upside that doesn't retrace heavily, we need to see market participation. And again, the bad news is we're not getting it. It is what it is, guys. It's the truth. So what we have to do is understand that there's the possibility of some important price action at this level. This relief is very, very, very important. It's the data that is going to give us the signals for the next move. And this is why it's very important that we consider it. Guys, we're going to be talking about this live tonight at 8 p.m. EST. I'll be pulling up the Bitcoin chart and navigating exactly what I would be doing in the next phase of this market. Guys, if that interests you, make sure that you slap the like button, of course. And not only that, make sure that you give me a follow, guys, and put on that bell notification, because tonight we're going to be dropping that alpha. It is very, very important, guys. Out of all the times that I've been, in looking at charts and in this market, there's always these critical moments, these small, short periods of time that literally define the next big move. And I feel like this is it, right? And it's very important that we say this because we're going to see a lot of altcoins follow suit. And that you saw what happened in the last little while. Okay, so today I'm going to be talking about ASTER. And the reason being is, number one, it would be nice to go full circle from the last deep dive that I've done on ASTER. So if you missed out on that video on the last deep dive, go check it out, guys. I have a link in the description to all my deep dives, a deep dive playlist of over 130. I think I'm at about 130 deep dives right now, which is great, so go check those out. Lots of learning happening there. But from a market structure perspective, Aster's holding a nice little bottom for now, and which is looking pretty good. Because if we can maintain that structure, we could start to see a lot of relief. Guys, speaking of relief, let's see what's going on here. We see Bitcoin doing great. Fine, nice relief. You can see a lot of them getting their relief rallies. Small relief. BNB, XRP, all of them. All of these fractals look exactly the same. There's very few that are different. Some more than others, obviously. Cardano's up 8%, Tron is up 4%. It's okay, all good. We're all up right now. We're doing pretty good. Hyperliquid, 15%. If you're bullish on hype, congratulations. That's a good move to the upside if you happen to get into a quick trade. Guys, buying long-term spot right now is still dangerous. I'll tell you, swing trading right now is still a little dangerous. A little. And I'll tell you why tonight. We'll talk about this tonight. Look, building a position at any time there's always risk. And especially if you don't have proper risk management, there's always risk. But that tweezer bottom that we discussed today on the Discord this morning at about 7 a.m., 8 a.m. this morning, guys, it played out pretty nicely so far. To confirm that tweezer bottom, we need to close the daily candle tonight at 8 p.m. right when I go live. We'll be talking about that daily close, and then the Asia market will come in and give us some extra data to confirm the relief or confirm a rally to the upside. So far, we're doing pretty good. Zcash still killing it, guys. Still doing great for Zcash. Sui, a little bit of relief, 10%. I would say the average gain right now, the average pump is about 10% to the upside. I'm going to tell you this, guys, it's not over. Please do not FOMO into this type of price action. Consider this a trading opportunity. It's not an opportunity to go all in just yet, although it could be the bottom. Again, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball to tell you if this is the bottom, but there is not enough data to suggest that yet. It's a game of probability, and based on that statistic, there is not enough data for me to back it and to say, yes, we've hit a bottom, we're ready to rally, all-time highs, here we come. So just keep this all in mind, guys. Beautiful recoveries. We can't knock it. Beautiful recoveries, right? So ICP, I told you this yesterday, be very, very careful. It's down almost 15% today. Okay, this is a problem because I know it's been up significantly in the last little while, but guys, I don't trust pumps like this out of nowhere. Random anomaly pumps. Just keep that in mind. We have Near Protocol doing good. A lot of the altcoins are doing good. Like I said, 10% it is today. That's across the market on any given project. Some more than others, of course. But it is what it is. Some OGs, we got 14% from VeChain. Kaspa doing pretty good with 14%. And this is great, guys. We want to celebrate. Look at Quant out of nowhere. I don't trust this pump. 20% pump on Quant. I don't trust it. It is what it is, guys. But generally speaking, the market right now is getting a bit of relief. All right? It is what it is. Now, today I want to talk about ASTER. Okay, let's take a look at ASTER. ASTER at the end of the day is right now at $1.07. When I did the deep dive, it was pretty much at the same level. It is a BNB project. We know this. CZ's back in it. CZ just happened to buy a bunch of ASTER from his personal funds, right? He did mention that its market cap is at about $2 billion. So it's a large market cap. We know this. It is not completely diluted, meaning that there's still tokens that need to be released. And upon the deep dive research that I've done, there are some areas of improvement that needed to be done. And I did identify this throughout that deep dive. Go check it out, guys. I highly recommend it. Now, what I do want to mention is on their socials, there is some good news. The good news is this. 5 days ago, Aster Dawn Stage 3 wraps up at this time, UTC, November 9th. Great. This is good news. This is where we should start to see some bullishness. Aster airdrop, again, more bullish news, more catalyst news. Harvest begins right after, and we will run for 6 weeks. Ends the 21st of December. Airdrops everywhere, guys. So understand, this is a risk of dilution. It is good news, but it also adds level of dilution. You have to understand that. And tokens entering circulation add that pressure. 1.5% of the total Aster supply will be allocated for S4, evenly distributed across 6 epochs, giving users chances to share 0.25% of the epoch, which is great. This is all their distribution in the last little while. This is a part of their strategy. Cool stuff. Last little while, guys, today, 7 hours ago, they had an AMA. Basically, popular demand suggested that they needed to get out there to their community. Guys, this is something that I mentioned on the deep dive. And look at this. All of a sudden, we got some action happening in there to the point that we have, by popular request, our CEO, Leonard, is joining a live AMA, which is what the community wanted. Number one. Leonard is still anonymous. Whether you like it or not, this is what I get from it. Okay, there's no real known source about what he is and what he does and where he came from this industry. It is what it is. Maybe one day that will happen, maybe not. But at the end of the day, this is what we're dealing with. However, Aster's roadmap unfolds. They did announce a bit of a roadmap. Where are they going with things in the next little while? That was another point of criticism on my deep dive. So I'm glad to see that they're spearheading this. They're getting involved with their community, and not only that, they're providing a roadmap informally, but we're hoping that they can update their documentation, their white papers, their Git book in order to get some of this official roadmap, stipulated on official documentation, right? That's what we really want. That's what the retail investor deserves. Okay, so don't settle for second best or any AMA without official documentation. Even though it doesn't have to be followed, it doesn't matter. At least it's there in writing in black and white. So this is really good. At least we're going forward with that regard. The utility upgrade, again, we mentioned this. This is around the corner. Aster pay trading fees and enjoy 5%. I'm trying to think about what else they got going on here. This is all very typical. Trust being listed is another token that has been spoken about quite a bit. Kite. So they're always listing new tokens. Momentum, another one that has been gaining, no pun intended, a lot of momentum in the last little while, is being listed. So they got a lot of good stuff here. Pretty good stuff for Aster and a lot of the news and a good bullish catalyst. All right, guys. I know you're here to talk about charts, so let's begin. Let's see what's going on here with Aster, because at the end of the day, the chart itself, after a huge dip to the downside, does deserve a little bit of relief. However, the market doesn't give us what we deserve. The market gives us what it intends to give us, and we need to be prepared. Guys, this bottom structure isn't mature enough. Should we be prepared for a potential bounce? Let's take a look at this in a little bit more detail. All right, so at the end of the day, we also see that the structure has been respected, okay? Respected, meaning that we've hit bottoms multiple times here. And I am compelled to get onto lower time frames. I don't want to stick here on the daily. I'd rather go on to the 4 hour, but we just want to look big picture that the range here is kind of playing out. This is when CZ mentioned that he was buying. It pumped. I came out hot on the Discord and said, guys, please, please, please be careful with this. This is not the time to go long. And I put the line in and I put the red arrow in. And guys, like clockwork, bang, rejection, right back to the bottom of the range. Now, I'm not telling you that I'm a fortune teller, that I knew exactly. But without massive volume and the current sentiment of the market, there was no way that Aster was going to completely run while the rest of the market was, literally dumping. So, and hitting resistance that was defined a long time ago, which is this horizontal line, wasn't a good thing either for Confluence. So it is what it is. Now the question is this: back to the original analysis, when I did release the analysis on the deep dive, what do we have to say about structure? Well, structure is holding. Now, it doesn't mean that it has to or continue. What it means that it introduces a framework. The framework to create a setup. Clear range. A trader can define range, and it should understand the bottom of the range is where you want to get in from a risk to reward ratio, healthy risk to reward ratio. The top of the range should always be your target for de-risking, even though you might have a slight bias for a breakout, right? Because breakouts don't have to happen. We could stay in the range for a long time. We don't know how long. And we've known projects of the past to stay into sideways channels for a good amount of time. The thing is that, look, if you're buying range lows and buying from a position of strength, like I mentioned down here, buying at the bottom of the range, at least you're buying the bottom of the structure, and your invalidation would be a lot easier to absorb a small loss. Okay, so before I get into all of the strategy and all of this, let's kind of look at what oscillators look like here on the daily. We'll drop to the 4 hour, and I think applying the strategy on the lower time frame is a much better. What I do see is volatility right now is pushing to the upside. Right here, as you can see, momentum hit a bottom, meaning that it hit a bottom. It doesn't mean it is the bottom. The bottom for me is when momentum gets completely oversold. Does it have to get oversold? No, it does not. Does it have to get oversold now? No, it does not. In fact, we could rally, get a rejection right around this level based on all this, and come back down and finally break below and then get oversold. Who knows? Who knows? That could happen. Yeah, it's going to happen in December. I don't know when. I don't know if. I'm just saying, when we do get oversold, that is statistically the best time to start looking for long positions. This is still the chop zone, which is the mid zone of any momentum oscillator that you use. By the way, guys, if you want to know more about Synergy Signal, which is the oscillator that I'm using here right now, links are in the description. But most oscillators function the same way with slight sauce, extra secret sauce. And the secret sauce here on this oscillator is one that incorporates volatility and momentum and the expansion phase out of the momentum. Okay, so the truth is right now, the expansion to the downside has already been achieved, as you can see the red line. But ultimately, if we start tapering in, bearish expansion is over with, which is very possible right now. Momentum is stagnant after a little bit of a downtrend. Do we go overbought again? Volatility's in an uptrend, suggesting that momentum is stagnant while volatility is pushing to the bullish side of things, which is why I do anticipate a target of range highs at the current moment. Let's quickly get down to the 4-hour. Actually, before I do that, let's take a look at the trend oscillator, multi-trend oscillator right here. EMA is facing up, green histogram bars to the upside. So bullish right now on the daily right here for ASTER, the way we are now. It's still fine. You can see that even to the downtrend, we slowly started shifting bullish right into here. We're still diverging. It's still in a divergent state. No follow through yet. None, because we're still going sideways. But the oscillators are slowly shifting and curling to the upside. That is usually when you want to start building a position so that you can appreciate the move to the upside when we start to get follow through. What defines follow through? Market structure. You need a market structure that changes character from no more lower lows and lower highs to eventually start making higher highs and higher lows. Now, again, don't get me wrong. Remember, if we can get some relief and still get rejected right around $1.80 and come down for a lower low, that's not what I'm talking about. If we're going to get into a long position, we need to get defensive right when we start getting to the range highs and even start breaking out, trailing up a stop loss, taking profit, and so on and so forth, while still relying on our spot bags to carry us all the way to the moon. That's still very possible. But from a trading perspective, guys, the entry is down here. Okay, so let's keep that in mind. 4-hour, I promise this time, 4-hour. Let's see what's going on here. You can see that this is structure. This is a very nice structure. We're building it. It's happening, guys. So on the 4-hour, we don't have an edge, okay, from a momentum perspective. Chop zone momentum, not really good. Overbought, coming down, holding support. Volatility is overbought. You can see that right here. Maybe we do see volatility drop from here and come down. Green expansions have been coming in very, very slowly. We're looking for a big one. We want a nice green expansion like that, right? We want to see strength. Good news is momentum is on an uptrend. Okay, momentum right now is on an uptrend. Could we still come down for a bit of a dip so that when the volatility line comes down so that we can get a better entry? 100%. 100% that's possible. So let's wait for the orange line to come all the way down here. When it gets to this level, we will see how the momentum line reacted. Likely we get a bit of a mean reversion where we drop below the yellow line, which is the mean of the oscillator, of the momentum oscillator. We drop slightly below it because it happens all the time when we go above it. And then we can probably buy the dip. And maybe by that time, volatility is a bit lower. And that way we can get a better entry. Okay, again, we're nickeling and diming for entries right now, guys. You don't have to do that. The truth is, if you're not a holder of ASTER right now, you're buying a decent discount. And I know this is maybe something people don't want to hear, because we keep on getting more and more discounts, and yeah, keep on buying the dip and more discounts and more dips and more discounts. I get it, guys. I've been there, here, I've done that. I understand. The truth is that you're going to have to take a shot one day because you're going to miss it if you don't. And the question is, where do you take the shot? Again, the shot from a position of strength is as close as possible to these bottoms. And you can see right now, we might be getting a bearish response where we retrace. The Asia market's going to come in hot tonight. They're going to see a lot of green. The first reaction they may have is, let me take some profit. And then people will buy the dip in anticipation for a continuation. We had some good volume in these candles here, guys. That's a little bit of strength, which is great. And based on the 4-hour time frame, EMAs are facing up with green histogram bars. We're not necessarily in the bullish control zone just yet, but we're on our way to that level where we start to see nice purple expansions to the upside. Okay, so what we have to do is be patient here for ASTER to transition. It's in a transitionary phase from bearish to bullish, or bearish to continuation. If it is going to be a continuation, a lot of the times after this, we get manipulation, Okay, we get manipulation. Maybe it's going to be come up, accumulation, manipulation, come back in, and complete distribution. And that is what I'm talking about, guys. Be careful with that possibility. Once we break out, we put a stop loss, we protect our gains, and if it comes back down, all good. You take a bit of profit and you don't take a loss. However, if it does break out and continue to the upside, at least you took the shot from a position of strength to time that bottom in a healthy way with risk reward management. Now, risk management is key here, guys, as you can see, as you can tell. Now, accumulation manipulation could also be one like this. Okay, let's just keep that in mind. And usually this is how we get beautiful pivot points right here with the sweeps of the lows. All the liquidity that's trapped up here will definitely get swept. And then we start moving to the upside with some strength and we break tops and we start cranking to the upside. I'm looking forward to all of this. However, guys, entries at this moment for me would be as close as possible. I'm going to do this like I typically do. Anything from where we are right now to the bottom of the range is fair game to pepper in capital. 30, 30, 40, 30%, 30%, 40%, and then stop. Stop loss. Give yourself a bit of wiggle room, then stop. If it drops below, get out. Even if it's spot, get out. You can get out. You can make that choice. And then if it comes out down there and it knocks you out of your position, right? And then let's say it gets back in, who's to say that you can't get back in? Why can't you get back into the trade? The likelihood of a complete reversal here, once the price gets back into the structure after a sweep, is a lot higher. The probability is a lot higher that we're going to get back to the top of the range at minimum. Okay, never mind the breakout. Okay, so this is where we're at right now. This is a trading moment, guys. If you've been waiting for a trading moment here in this market, ASTER is giving you the perfect setup to be bullish and to be bearish. The bias right now, obviously based on this trend, is bearish. However, the bias on the macro trend, on the big picture, on the big projects, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of the rest, the reality is, if we just focus on Bitcoin here a second, Bitcoin macro is still bullish on the daily. And we're just waiting for Bitcoin to finish its retracement for an attempt, a bullish attempt. Whether it be a failed attempt or not, it doesn't matter. At this moment, we want an attempt because in that Bitcoin attempt, we will see ASTER do well, okay, including Ethereum and a lot of the other altcoins. Guys, I'm not trying to spread right now FOMO because I understand a 10% pump can do a lot of FOMO in and itself. However, guys, these are the moments that we're printing candles to build enough data that allows us to build a thesis. Guys, if I've offered you any value in this video, do the channel a massive favor. Slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. If you want to follow me on the socials, the links are in the description. Better yet, guys, join the Discord. The Discord is where it's at. Lots of good alpha, trade setups, fundamentals, and learning material. The best part is it's absolutely free. Take care, guys. Have a good one. And don't forget, buy the dip. Thank you.